Hello. Okay, so now we're on lesson 16, learning about how Brother Lawrence found continual joy and peace in God. And this letter that he had written is either translated strangely, making his first person into third person's language, or it was written by someone else about the letter. But anyway, I will begin. It says here that Brother Lawrence, for over 40 years, has spent time with God, did nothing, said nothing, and thought nothing that would displease God, without any other view than purely for the love of Him. It goes on to say, he is now so accustomed to that divine presence that he receives from it continual help upon all occasions. His soul has been filled with joys so continual and sometimes so great that he is forced to moderate them and to stop them from appearing outwardly. Remember we talked about this last lesson? It says, if sometimes he is a little too much absent from God, God presently makes himself to be felt in his soul, which often happens when he is most engaged in his outward business. He answers directly to God, either by an elevation of his heart or by a meek and fond regard to him, or by such words as love forms upon these occasions. For instance, my God, here I am, all devoted to you. Lord, make me according to your heart. These are words we can use. I mean, if we wonder how do we, show God how much we love him, or what do we say to him, these are words. God, here I am. The funny thing about this is that in the Bible, over and over, God has called people by their names. And when he does, the person always says, here I am, or here am I. And it's your first response, here I am. And this is like what Brother Lawrence says. He says, here I am, all devoted to you. And that's where we decide, are we going to make God number one in our life? Is he going to be our king? And it goes on to say, and it seems that this God of love, satisfied quickly with such few words, reposes again and rests in the depth and center of his soul. The experience of these things gives him such an assurance that God is always in the depth or bottom of his soul, and renders him incapable of doubting it upon any account whatever. Judged by this, what content and satisfaction he enjoys, while he continually finds himself in himself such a great treasure. He is no longer in an anxious search for it, but has it open in front of him, and may take what he pleases of it. He complains much of other people's blindness, and cries often that others are to be pitied, because they content themselves with so little. God, he says, has infinite treasure to bestow, and we take up with a little sensible devotion which passes in a moment. Blind as we are, we stop God and stop the current of his graces. But when he finds, meaning God, when God finds a soul penetrated with a lively faith, he pours into it his graces and blessings plentifully. There they flow like a torrent, which after being forcibly stopped against its ordinary course, when it has found a passage, spreads itself with abundance. So, and the rest of the letter goes on a little bit more about that, but basically he's saying, we are the ones who stop God from making miracles in our lives. We are the ones who, because we have little faith, we don't lean on God all the way, and we stop the miraculous blessings. We stop God's love from giving us all his signs of love. I suppose it would be kind of like, let's say you're a parent, a father or mother, and you have a little child, and You see something really good for them. I mean, maybe it's a playground and you can build it for them. And you want to do this for the child because you love that child. You want him happy. And the child says to you, "Oh, I don't think you'll ever do it. I don't think I deserve it. I don't think it'll happen. I'm not good enough." I mean, we are the children who are saying that they don't want a gift from God. We're the ones saying that we don't think God can do something for us, even though we know He made the heavens and the earth. I mean, if God created the universe, then He can do anything. He can take care of a little problem that we have or a big problem. And all God wants is us to lean on Him, trust in Him, and know that God is doing things for our best because He loves us. He loves you, and He wants only the best for you. And when we lean on our own understanding, or we lean on our own pride or our own strength, we fall quickly. But when we lean on God and say, "I'm all yours, God. I'm going to do what you tell me. I'm going to do kind of wherever you put me. I'm going to work through this, and I'm going to do my best for you because I trust that you have something beautiful planned for me. You have something amazing in the future." And if we have this outlook on God, He is going to move mountains. He loves you. He loves you more than anyone, human or animal, on this earth could love. He is love. So I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, morning, noon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Take care. Bye.